Believe it or not, there are just 12 days left until the election. And in today's Justice Gap, we want to take a look at some of the lesser known ballot measures. And to do that, I'm joined by Jamie Jackson, VP of Colorado Black Women for Political Action, as well as the Criminal Justice Chair for Aurora NAACP. So you wear a lot of hats, and we're glad that you're here, that we can prick your brain a little bit. And I do want to talk about some of the efforts that you guys have been doing with both organizations, making sure people are registered to vote.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. We have definitely been busy this year, both with CBWPA and the Aurora NAACP branch. We've had several get out the vote efforts and events where we want to engage our community, and we've been able to provide education around important ballot measures and really informing people about what's on the ballot and how it directly impacts them. We're actually having an event on Saturday from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Aurora NAACP will be having another GOTV event at the Aurora Municipal Center, where we're welcoming everyone in the community to come out and get engaged, make sure they're registered to vote, and that they're educated about what's on the ballot.
Yeah, that's so important, because I feel like you guys do take it a step further. It's not just about making sure they're registered, but that they're knowledgeable about what they're voting for. Yeah. And on that front, I want to talk about a couple of these measures, because we spoke earlier this week, and it feels like we're inundated with the same political ads over and over and over. But there are a couple of things that you're really not hearing about at all, and one of them is Prop 128, which deals with parole eligibility. Can you describe that for us and talk about why it's so important?
Yeah, it definitely hasn't gotten the attention that it deserves. And basically what it is being able to increase the amount of time that someone is incarcerated before they're eligible for parole from 75% to 85%. And even though we are very empathetic with victims of crime, the data doesn't show that that increased incarceration time is effective in keeping the community any safer. And we know that Black and brown people are disproportionately impacted by the criminal justice system. And then another thing that people don't realize too is really the financial cost of incarceration, and that increasing that cost, it goes to the taxpayers, and they end up having to pay that staggering cost, and it just doesn't, there's no data to show that it's effective in reducing crime or reducing recidivism.
Great perspective. Before we let you go, too, I want to talk about, this is specifically in Aurora, but it feels like, you know, every couple of years we're always talking about a pit bull ban, but yet again, question number 3 is bringing back the pit bull ban. Talk about this one.
Yeah, for some reason, it just keeps coming up in Aurora. People are definitely concerned about the safety of their communities. They love their communities. And one thing that we know is that breed bans don't work to reduce incidents. They actually increase incidents, because when you ban a particular breed, the owners are more inclined to abandon their dogs. They're more inclined to not seek care for their dogs or behavioral care for their dogs, which leads to increased incidents. And so what we really should be focusing on here is irresponsible dog ownership, and making sure that the owners of these dogs are held accountable, owners of all breeds are held accountable for their lack of action to be responsible owners and supervise and care for their dogs. So we're hoping that all Aurora residents vote yes on 3A.
Okay. Great perspective on both of those, and there's so much more to talk about. So I think we're going to continue this conversation with Jamie coming up here next week. So stay tuned for that.